Okay.
Welcome back. Some of you maybe missed yesterday, but I see some new faces today. How's everybody doing?
Wonderful.
You guys could hear me okay?
Hey Joe,
Perfect.
Yeah.
did you make me a co-host? I don't think you did.
Thank you. No, not
Yeah.
yet, but thanks for the reminder. All
No worries.
right. There we go. I think you should be all set now. All right. Well, welcome back to day two, guys. We are at our halfway point. I'm really thrilled and excited. Everybody's here. Everybody's ready to go. And yeah, like Susanna said, did you bring your aspirin? We're going to be crunching numbers. This is where the money is made. Some of you folks are in residential real estate, a lot different. We're not selling emotion. If the numbers pencil out, we're going to make it work, right? So let's go ahead and get things going here. Some of you stayed some overtime yesterday. We totally appreciate that. And sometimes we will go over. So you're more than welcome to stay, ask your questions. Yeah, this is a very, very great opportunity to ask myself or Susanna or any one of us. That's the power of a group is there's some wonderful, amazing minds in here where you could get some of your answers today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and jump right into it. And actually, before I did do that, somebody asked a question where to kind of get leads and data, what have you. I'm going to put that in the chat, so feel free to use the chat, ask your questions in the chat, and you guys could still hear me and see me okay. Thumbs up. Yeah. All right. So let me see what happened there. Okay, I'm back. All right. Something's going on in San Diego. There's a storm, so yeah, the weather's kind of being a little tricky here. All right, thanks, Ed. Ed is back. Let me make some adjustments here. Ah, Dylan, hey, what's going on? I see Steven, Alvin. All right, wonderful. All right, so I'm gonna set up the screen share here. And you guys could still see it. John, could you see it? Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, day two. Tomorrow is the final day. So, take as many notes as possible. Again, a quick disclaimer. I've learned this a long, long time ago. It's a CYA, cover your assets. We are not your attorney. We're not your tax pros. As needed, seek additional advice. We go into hard and heavy. We make no promises. You are going to do the heavy lifting. We're simply here to share some information and maybe some form of entertainment for some of you. All right. So, welcome back again. This is 3-day challenge, which will provide you the knowledge, the roadmap to get you your first commercial real estate deal. Take this very, very seriously because after tomorrow, you should have a pretty good grasp on what you need to do to get your first commercial deal. The schedule yesterday was F, foundation. Today is analysis. And tomorrow is a complete roadmap how to get your first deal in 90 days. And I'm not sure who's on the East Coast. Could we put a one on the chat? Who's on the East Coast? John's on the East Coast. Anybody else on the East Coast? I think Dylan's kind of Texas, right, Dylan? Yep. All right, cool. Anybody else on the East Coast? I know it's pushing a little bit later, but yeah, we're starting 5 o'clock tomorrow as well. You are here because you are an agent, loan officer, investor looking to triple your income with commercial real estate. What you'll learn how to transition from residential real estate agent or mortgage loan originator into a top performer in commercial real estate. How to become an investor in commercial deals that dwarf the ROI and cash flow you've come to expect from residential assets. Analyze CRE deals with confidence and discover the roadmap to your first commercial deal. Little backstory. Some of you probably don't know too much about me at all, so I will share a little bit about me. I've been on multiple podcasts. I've been in the real estate arena for pushing over 30 years. I actually started in a high school around 17, 18 years old. I got really pumped up about it and never really looked back. I've been in the game a long, long time, seen multiple cycles, and this one's an interesting one. We are on a definite cycle where my first time I got into real estate, I was scared. I was probably just like some of you. I got nervous. You see the news all over and you just kind of put your head in the sand. Well, that's when the big boys and big girls come out to play. As this market is turning, there's opportunity, folks. So really open up your eyes, open up your mind. And I know that's exactly why you're here, to see and seize the opportunity. My pretty much, long story short, like I said, I've been around since early 90s in real estate, but I lost it all. I mean, made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money. When the mortgage meltdown happened, I lost millions. The good news is I was able to recover, and now we call that cycle tested because some of the people that lost it all never came back. I was one of those that did recover. I was able to re-enter the real estate arena in 2014. I bought a property, traditional 5% down, and leveraged the rest. Then I bought a second property. I put over $100,000 down, and that property doubled. And then I started getting into limited partnerships again, multiple syndications, acquired storage facilities. I still have them. And I am a fundraiser, so I'm very, very good at raising capital because I believe in teamwork makes the dream work and OPM, other people's money. I am all over the media. You could probably see me on other podcasts. I do own a magazine and marketing company as well. So I am pretty diversified. Um, just look me up, follow me, like me, subscribe, whatever, if you find you want to stay close to the fire, because I bring it and I try to give as much valuable information, even freely on YouTube and podcasts and what have you. I am an author. I publish multiple books. I'm working on number six, I think, and seven in the works. I love to read. I love to write. And this is one of my books there on the far right, Flex with a Plex. That's totally real estate related. So if you're just barely starting out your career in real estate, I would definitely start there. I made it very clear and concise. It's not a big read. You could probably read it in one sitting in 2 hours. I have multiple podcasts out there, and feel free, it's still out there. I have some of the biggest, best in the country that were in my podcast. And that's actually how I got into some syndications. When I like them, trust them, I'm in. And, whether it's a few thousand here and there, I'll take a chance as a limited partner. And I'm happy to take that chance with some people that I know, like, and trust. And maybe one of you will someday be that general partner or key principal that I might invest some money in your deal. This is one of my mentors, coaches, Tom Ferry. If you're in the residential space, you know exactly who this is. If you don't, he is a guru in residential brokerage. He was my personal mentor coach. I attribute a lot of my brokerage success to this man right here. I still talk to him on a regular basis, and yeah, he endorsed me. So this basically was a full-on video he did on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You could probably find it out there, and he spoke very, very highly of me, and so that said a lot. I was really pumped that he endorsed me. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the one and only amazing Susanna Royst.
You're always so kind when you're introducing me. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. Just a quick recap from yesterday. So I started in corporate. I was frustrated and I decided I'm gonna jump into real estate. But as you guys remember that story when I just lit up a cigarette and demanded a job, I was stuck analyzing deals, stuck in residential and completely overwhelmed by the numbers. And then I discovered that the best way to get into commercial is to originate deals. So I did it without any kind of a formal structure, just kind of trying to pick up what everybody else was doing. And then I discovered the formula that we went over yesterday a little bit. on how I should have done it. Of course, it's hindsight, and that's what we're going to share here with you. I started landing my own clients and closing my own deals. And now I am actually a commercial loan officer, so commercial real estate loan originator, syndicator, and investor with over 20 plus deals.
So a quick recap what we covered yesterday. F is for foundation. As I mentioned, building a house, building a building, you need a very, very strong foundation. I know many people that have been to like these boot camps and trainings and what have you that just went all out with not having the right foundation and lost it all. They were one deal and done. Today we're covering analysis, A for analysis, and R for the complete roadmap to get you your first deal. So you stick around tomorrow. Like I said, you could land your very, very first deal after tomorrow. We agreed that CRE is the best way to build wealth, and let's agree that commercial real estate is the best way to build wealth. A lot of millionaires have been created using commercial real estate. We went through examples of the incredible returns CRE provides. Susanna was gracious enough to share some of her deals openly and some of the great returns. And again, no promises. We shared that method that will help you get your first commercial real estate deal. The key, again, is to follow the FAR method. Foundation will help you become fluent in CRE. Analyze, we will walk step by step through figuring out the viability of any commercial real estate deal in minutes. And roadmap, we'll show you how to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And we learned the foundation of all commercial deals. We went through the 6 pillars of every CRE deal, this and NOI, cash flow, cap rate, financing options, buyer profile, industry, use, and case. These pillars are very, very important. Again, if you're just joining us today, feel free to take a snapshot. These are some of the key metrics that you need to get into commercial real estate deals. You'll see these things over and over and over again. Repetition is the mother of skill. Master these numbers. And today's training, how to analyze the numbers in CRE, how to identify winning deals in 5 minutes. We're going to be focusing on analysis. Coming up, our 5-minute deal evaluation formula. So you know if a commercial property is worth your time or a complete waste of time. So you stop burning weeks analyzing bad deals that never pay off. So you can focus on the multi-million dollar opportunities that actually close you get to the finish line. You're going to learn some commercial loan strategies. As Susanna mentioned, she is a commercial MLO. Same here. This is actually how we met, is through a company with mortgage loan origination, but on the commercial side. Uh, you're going to stop wasting months and months chasing properties that will never get funded. We are behind the scenes, behind the curtains. We've got analysis tools and software that minutes, folks. It doesn't matter if it's $100 million, $200 million deal. We'll tell you exactly if this is something you should pursue or not. Coming up, analysis, net operating income, cap rate, yield, cash on cash, debt service coverage ratio. We covered a little bit about this yesterday. We'll go much deeper into it today, so definitely pay attention. Hopefully you have some coffee. If you had a long day, if not, run, get that coffee real quick or some Monster. Why now is the best time to get into commercial? If you've seen me on YouTube or podcasts, I keep saying this over and over and over again. Again, I've been around since early 90s. The residential market is slow and unsteady. You get repeat business in commercial because of maturities. Deal with professionals, trade residential tiers for commercial cash. Commercial is bigger and better. I want to go back to number one. I was just in Irving, Texas, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I just literally got back. And this was an REO conference. There's REOs already happening, folks. You know what they said at the conference? We are going to see a spike. Okay. We are going to see a spike. So pay attention, folks. Again, where there's adversity, there's opportunity. And I am so grateful you guys are all here because you're going to capitalize as long as not you just take this information, but you apply it. Okay. So make sure application. The importance of the foundation. The foundations we covered in yesterday's training is crucial to your success in commercial real estate because you now understand what to look for in a commercial deal. You're aware that without this foundation, you'll be ignored by brokers, sellers, and investors. You can now use this to your advantage. These slides are critical, folks. If you just simply, like I said, take as many pictures as you want, watch the playback. It's already online if you missed day one, and just watch it over and over and over. Make some flashcards of some of these buzzwords and phrases and just flip them back and forth until it really is sticky and becomes part of your everyday language. And you can do it, folks, so that when you apply for the FAR method in CRE, you'll be able to command higher fees as a real estate agent or loan officer because you speak the investor language. Get more income from fewer deals instead of selling, 10 $1 million houses. Why don't we just sell one building for 10 million? Convert a residential Rolodex into investor deal flow. There is already an insider here in our group in this room that has been introduced to one of my people in my Rolodex, and I've got a lot more. As I mentioned, watch some of my podcasts. I've got people on speed dial. I've got their direct cell phone numbers. If you randomly call them, they're not going to pick up your phone. As a matter of fact, they might block you. But I have these people direct connect and infinite opportunities, folks. Tomorrow, we'll give you the roadmap to your first commercial deal, decades of CRE experience distilled into the most effective strategies. And Susanna.
All right, let's dive in. Day 2 analysis. So who's ready to learn how to identify a winning commercial deal? Drop a 1 in the chat. If you don't, we're gonna mute you. All right, everybody dropping ones. Everybody awake? You need to be awake for this because honestly, this is the stuff that it's not the most riveting thing unless you're a total numbers geek like myself. All right, everybody ready? Let's get into it. So net operating income we covered yesterday represents the property's annual income after subtracting operating expenses, but before debt service, before your payments, right? So we went through the formula. This is part of your analysis, and this is the first thing I want you to do. Like, don't do anything before, just get the figures on the net operating income. Gross rental income plus other income minus operating expenses. A key metric for property valuation and measuring operational efficiency. Cap rate. Okay, so this is loan and lender criteria. So lenders use the net operating income to assess a property's ability to cover debt service, influencing the loan amount and approval. So if you noticed yesterday, I did not say the 6 pillars. One of the 6 pillars is the DCR. Of course, the DCR is an incredibly valuable ratio, but the issue is that it moves, right? So different lenders have different requirements and also different property types. So like a multifamily will have a minimum requirement of 1.2, but on the HUD side, it's actually 1.15. And if you're dealing with a local bank or credit union, they might want 1.25 or 1.3. So if you know the NOI, that's how you determine then, if you know what the interest rate is, that's what determines your down payment. So super critical. How do you improve the NOI? So here's where forced appreciation comes in, and hopefully everybody knows what that is. If you buy a property that has a certain rental income and a certain net operating income, if you can, through your efforts, increase that net operating income, you are directly affecting the value, holding the cap rate steady. So you buy a property for 5 million, you increase the net operating income by, let's say, 20%. Now it's worth 6 million. So you have created that value of $1 million. That's why the NOI is the most important measure. And this is how most CRE investors make millions of dollars. So for an example, investor increases rents by 20% on a 6% cap rate, $5 million purchase. With the 300,000 net operating income, if you can increase that by 20% to 360, that 5 million at a 6% cap, that net operating income of 360 on a 6% cap becomes 6 million, right? So you now created $1 million. Does everybody get that? I know I'm going kind of fast because this is, like I said, not the most riveting thing, but I need you guys to get this, especially anybody who wants to jump into commercial real estate for value add. It's also super helpful when you're getting, even on the MLO side, you're working with somebody who really is super hot about getting into this property. If you understand that their motivation might be the forced appreciation, it will actually even help you structure the loan better. So cap rate. The cap rate measures the property's yield based on the NOI and market value or purchase price. If it's a refinance, it's a market value. If it's a purchase price, typically the purchase price will determine the value. So it's the net operating income. Cap rate is NOI times, property value or purchase price. So for an example, we take again that $5 million value with a 300,000 NOI. If you take the 300,000 and divide by 5 million, you get 0.066, which means 6% cap rate. Everybody good on cap rates? Yeah, okay, let's move on. Cash on cash return. So this is important when you're dealing with investors. Indicates the annual return on the cash invested, often excluding financing effects. So cash on cash is the annual pre-tax cash flow divided by total cash invested. So to go back to our $5 million example, $5 million purchase price, 25% down payment, 1.25 million. Cash flow, let's say 75,000 per year. So that 75,000 divided into your down payment, that's the cash that you have in the deal. Now you're getting a 6% cash on cash return. This is pre-tax. This is actual cash flow. Don't forget there's massive tax advantages and appreciation, and that's what makes real estate such a great investment. So now we are at the debt service coverage ratio, right? So this is what is required by the lender. They want to make sure that the cash you're collecting from a property is at least 1.2 times higher than your payments. No bank will ever give you a loan where the payments are higher than your cash flow. And typically that percentage spread is a minimum of 20%. Some lenders have 30%. If it's a special use asset, like we just did a gas station, I think, with one of my mentees, they required a 1.5. So it is dependent on the type of lender and the type of asset. So the debt service coverage is the net operating income divided by your payments, the total annual, and you can do it on an annual or a monthly basis, whatever is easier for you. All right, let's move on. Okay, this is my favorite. I don't know why I love this calculation so much. Internal rate of return. I guess it's because when you kind of get the idea of the NOI on cash, those are, pretty simple, like divide by times and whatever. The internal rate of return is a little more complicated, but that's what your sophisticated investors are going to talk about. Let's say you are raising money for a property. You want to talk about either the equity multiple, which I think is my next slide, or the internal rate of return. So what that is, let's say you buy a commercial building and that's, throwing off, I don't know, let's stick with a 6% cash on cash return, and you buy it for 5 million. But when you sell it for 6 million or 7 million. So you're basically then taking that spread of $1 or $2 million profit and adding that to your proceeds, right? So what does that do to your internal rate of return? If you held it for, let's say, 5 years, you can't say your return was 6% because it wasn't. 6% was just your cash flow. But at the end, when you went to sell the property, which is usually the big bang exit, that's when you created this other $2 million. That is going to get spread out over the 5 years that you have held it. And the calculation is not that simple. You can just put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and it's just the IRR and then put in brackets. But it's a measure of how did your investment perform overall after you exited it. And I promise you, if you can start dropping IRR and the person next to you doesn't get it, then they're not somebody you want to deal with. Or if you want to impress somebody, then just start dropping IRRs. Equity multiple. Okay, so this is the other measure that investors are looking for, right? So outside of what's the return on my investment, what do they want to know? How quickly can I double my money? How quickly can I get my money back? Or did I double it? Did I triple it? So equity multiple equals total cash received divided by total cash invested. So I'm working on a deal right now for somebody who is a syndicator. They have actually pretty stringent criteria, which I don't particularly love, but it's been working for them. They want to be out. They say within 3 years, they want an equity multiple to be double. So they're investing $2 million. So in 3 years, they want that 2 million to become 4 million. That's their criteria, and they won't invest in deals that can't deliver that. But yeah, it's basically how quickly do you double your money or how quickly do you multiply your money? And it's a measure of time.
So, folks, imagine walking into a property, running the numbers in 10 minutes, and knowing it's worth 500K more after the fixes. Imagine closing one deal that replaces your monthly W-2 income. We shared some examples yesterday of some folks that actually have done that. Imagine owning an asset that produces 80,000 in annual cash flow and millions in equity upside. Imagine having bigger repeat clients, investors who call you for every off-market opportunity. Imagine structuring a $4 million deal and earning a $40,000 placement fee repeatedly. Imagine having weekends back, fewer showings, and higher quality conversations. Imagine engineering a rent bump that instantly creates 500K to over $1 million in value. Spending less time on repairs and tenant headaches and more on asset strategy and capital allocation. Stop doing dozens of small deals that burn energy and produce no leverage. If you're in the real estate residential arena, I've always taught the smaller deals versus the bigger deals, you're going to work them out the same amount, sometimes more on those smaller deals because you're constantly explaining yourself to this brand new first time home buyer. And stop trading hours for income. Stop worrying about emotional buyers or endless lowball negotiating. Stop chasing volume to hit the same income target. Exactly what I just shared earlier. You could do 10 homes at a million each or one building at 10 million. Which is better? Stop waiting for someone to finally give you a seat at the commercial table. Stop competing on basis points for low commissions and endless paperwork. Stop being commodified by comparison shopping and online rate apps. I don't know how many lenders in the room. It's one of those things. Even if it was a quarter point, eighth of a point, they're moving, right? Stop worrying about small margins and volume-based burnout. Stop relying on retail channels that underpay your expertise. Stop feeling stuck because banks told you not experienced enough. Agents, you can analyze and qualify a commercial opportunity in minutes. You can command higher fees because you speak investor language. Some of you were here yesterday. If you don't know any realtors, you don't have any friends. I don't know if you guys remember that. Everybody knows a realtor, but how many people know commercial brokers or commercial loan originators? Very, very few of us, right? agents. You can close far fewer deals for the same or greater income. You can start working with a lot less money than you think. If you're an investor coming into this game and you learn the different strategies on creative financing, seller carry, some of these sellers don't want all the money right away. They don't need the money. Convert a residential Rolodex into CRE deal flow. I've done that many times where I worked with several clients, either buying or selling real estate, and they loved how much how well I treated them. And they asked other things that I do. I told them I'm an investor, I look at big deals, and next thing you know, they're lending me some money or JVing with me on some deals. MLOs, you can structure a commercial loan that funds with confidence and higher fees. You can package deals so lenders and investors prefer your submissions. This is exactly by partnering or working with Susanna or myself, we got the insider scoop. We've talked to over 700 banks on a weekly basis, uh, institutions, credit unions, banks, you name it. Command advisor level pricing, placement, and structuring fees. Start doing meaningful commercial deals without decades of a long Rolodex. Turn one commercial relationship into recurring high margin work. Investors, you can analyze a $4 million deal, see the NOI and potential upside. You can create forced appreciation, just as Susanna talked about, like Mark, who added $2 million to the value of his office building in Escondido. I mentioned that earlier yesterday. Leverage institutional financing to scale with less personal capital, like Cameron, who bought a massive asset with just 13% down. Investors, you can own commercial assets or syndicate deals without needing to be a billionaire like Ajay, who bought a commercial building with 50,000 and created a $23,000 a month cash flow. Move from landlord to operator owner with predictable cash return targets. And just like Jim, who was a residential agent, completely pivoted to commercial and now owns apartments. Now also buys land for development of new multifamily units. And Joy, who started as a residential agent, learned the basics of commercial real estate, and landed her first commercial listing, sold the listing, and represented the seller in his new commercial purchases. 2 years later, she is the number two commercial agent in her area. Go ahead, Susanna.
Chris went from 0 to 3 commercial transactions in 6 months. We talked to him on a weekly basis. He was a residential loan broker and he learned how to break into commercial real estate lending, started earning bigger commission checks, and now is a trusted advisor to probably 5 or 6 of his clients. He started originating and closing commercial loans and closed 3 deals in his first 6 months and earned $120,000 gross commission. Sarah bought a Dollar General. I guess the purchase price was about 1.1 million on a triple net lease. We were just talking about that earlier with John Nordbeck, and now enjoys a cash flow of over $80,000 per year. So are you ready to do what Winnie did? This is such a favorite story of mine, this IT professional earning W-2 income. He learned how to use other people's money. He went straight into syndications. Now, he did have some of his own money, which he leveraged, but he never put more than $50,000 in any of his deals. He bought 6 multifamily deals over 3 years and held on to it for another 2 years. And I think between year 5 and 6, exited for over $300 million and netted personally over 15 million. So think about that. He put 50,000 of his own money in 6 deals and netted 15 million. So he was super focused. I love that story. Vinny's awesome. I talk to him about once a month. So if commercial is so great, why don't MLOs do commercial? Most of them don't understand the numbers. They know how to sell emotion, but not how to sell income streams. They're afraid of looking unqualified. They think investors will expose what they don't know. They think commercial is reserved for big brokerages. They never realize independent agents can close six figures too. They chase fast residential closings instead of building leverage because they're stuck in that 30-day paycheck cycle and not a wealth cycle. And they were never trained on underwriting or deal structure. Their brokerage taught them contracts, not cap rates. So why don't MLOs do commercial? They don't realize fewer, bigger deals equals less stress and more money. And if commercial is so great, then why don't realtors do commercial? Joe, why don't they?
Why realtors don't do commercial, folks, they don't understand the numbers. A $4 million property feels risky because they don't know how to quantify it. They're addicted to familiarity. Residential feels safe, even if it's slow. They don't know how to read a rent roll or NOI statement, so they can't see where the profit actually lives. They've never been shown the roadmap, which we will show tomorrow. No one has broken down the step-by-step entry path. And well, if commercial is so great, then why don't investors do commercial? Why investors don't do commercial, they think they need millions in cash. They don't understand leverage, partnerships, or syndication. And this is so true, folks. I've created so many millionaires, especially even in some of my family and relatives, and they're still kind of gun shy. They don't have that roadmap, as I mentioned, and so they think they need millions to get into the big boy, big girl club. They fear the big numbers. A $4 million property feels risky because they don't know how to quantify it. So they'd rather buy a $400,000 home, in Texas or something like that. They rely on market appreciation instead of income growth. They haven't learned that in commercial, you can create your own value. Why investors don't do commercial? They don't know how to read a rent roll or NOI statement. They can't see where the profit lives. They've also never been shown, again, that roadmap. That roadmap is critical. No one has broken it down step by step.
However, the main reason that MLOs, realtors, and investors don't do commercial is because the doors to commercial real estate truly are closed to outsiders. The best deals go to established buyers. You need to become an insider to get deals at every level. However, there are endless benefits when you master the analysis and you become fluent. So become fluent in CRE analysis and you can benefit from spotting underperforming assets, mispriced listings, and hidden value add plays in minutes. This is how I bought my fifth deal. It was the greatest thing ever. I had an agent call me and say, hey, how would you finance this? So I got some deal parameters. Literally in 5 minutes, I was like, oh my God, there's a $400,000 upside. I said, I'll meet you in 10 minutes with an earnest money check. You can benefit from talking numbers with lenders, brokers, and investors with confidence. You can not feel like an outsider and being the one that everybody calls for clarity. Credibility equals cash flow. You can dramatically be shortening the CRE learning curve that takes most people years of trial and error, unfortunately myself included, and hopefully I can somehow impart some of that hard-earned knowledge to you guys. And you can benefit from seeing the entire game board, capital stack, leverage, risk return, and exit like a pro. So now that you have a much clearer picture of how CRE works, did I solve your how do I get into commercial problem? Do you see how understanding how to value a property is 10 times more powerful than just listing one? How one $4 million deal analyzed right can create more income than 20 residential sales? How the language of NOI, cap rate, DCR, and financing separates amateur from deal makers? And how this isn't a new career, it's a new lens that multiplies everything you already do in residential. Do you see why our students go from zero experience to analyzing $4 million deals in confidence? Why lenders, investors, and brokers respond differently when you speak their language? Why one skill, deal analysis, is the bridge to any path, whether you want to refer deals, you want to be an agent, loan officer, or investor. Or why this method compresses time, turning 3 years of confusion into 3 days of greater clarity. So let's do the math. Is that so me? You do 20 sales in residential and make $300,000, or you could do 1 or 2 commercial real estate deals and make $300,000. You could fund as an MLO 30 residential loans and make 300K, or you could do 3 to 5 commercial deals and make 300K. As an investor, you could invest in 25 houses and make 300K, or you could do 1 or 2 commercial deals and make 300K. So the FAR method is your gateway to commercial. The foundation is, you're aware of the key components to look for in any commercial deal. The analysis, if you understand how to look at a deal in 10 minutes, you can identify a winning deal from a bad one. And the roadmap, that's tomorrow, right? So once you have this knowledge, you know how to analyze it, you know how to talk to people, then what do you do? Where do you go? What is going to move the needle? So who is feeling excited to get started in commercial real estate? Type 1 in the chat.
Let's go. Who's excited? All right, John, I know you're
All right.
excited. Steve's excited. Ed's excited. Let's go.
So yesterday we mentioned that we would provide more details about our commercial real estate launchpad program. Is it okay if we go over our commercial real estate launch program now?
Yes, yes, or yes.
Yes, please. Joan says, yes, please.
All right. Alignment matters, folks. Who you associate with is who you become. Again, I really firmly believe in that. I mean, think about it, guys. We're in a winter season, cold season. Hang around somebody who has a cold or COVID, and guess what? You get a cold or COVID, right? That's why we would like to present to you the Commercial Real Estate Launchpad program. All right, so we're going to break this down. Here's what you get when you join the Commercial Real Estate Launchpad program today. You're going to get the Commercial Real Estate Mastery course. It's a in-depth, step-by-step modules how to successfully find, analyze, finance, and close commercial real estate deals. You're going to attend live weekly group coaching Q&A calls, and this will be for 3 months, 90 days. Hands-on mentorship with Joe, Susanna, guest experts, so you can get direct feedback, bring your deals. We could look at underwriting and strategies. You'll have one kickoff session with Joe, which is me, of course, or Susanna to get you started and kind of help you out with your personal roadmap in commercial real estate. You're going to get the Commercial Loans Mastery White Paper. Master the art of commercial financing, including creative financing strategies and sample term sheets. You're going to get access to the Commercial Real Estate Investor Club Private Investor Network, private members only group of investors who collaborate, share, and partner up on commercial deals. This, folks, is priceless. As I mentioned, I have some of these big influencers that you see on YouTube, on other podcasts. I've got cell phone direct access, okay? Deal analyzer spreadsheet and templates, plug and play tools for underwriting CRE deals and speeding up your ability to analyze deals you find. You could have or own a Ferrari or Lamborghini, but if nobody tells you how to drive it, it's not a regular car. All right. Due diligence checklist, step-by-step checklist to follow for every deal you do to avoid costly mistakes. You're also going to get deal flow vault, early access to off-market and shared opportunities within the group. If you were here yesterday, a lot of the actual deals never hit LoopNet. They never hit Crexy, CoStar. They're done off market. That is priceless. You're going to have monthly master classes from brokers, lenders, attorneys, or syndicators with these expert guest speakers. And accountability pods, small groups to ensure consistent progress and execution. That's going to be very, very priceless, folks. So essentially, folks, the commercial real estate launchpad, if you look at the value here of each and every single line item, add them up, it's priceless, folks. If you were here yesterday, some of you, you heard that I have invested over $300,000 outside of graduating from college, San Diego State. And this is on other masterminds and boot camps and trainings and et cetera, et cetera. We're pouring on all that knowledge right here. All the knowledge we've compiled into this program has taken years to amass, and lots of trial and error, costly mistakes, and figuring it out, which is why the commercial real estate launchpad would be fairly priced at 25,000. Which is why it's even better deal at 17,000. All right, nobody left. That's good.
And John says that's true. So let's go.
All right. You're right, John. I mean, I remember a couple different programs I spent 30,000, 60,000, and you're getting all that knowledge from Susanna and myself. So why it's even a better deal and it's not even going to be 17,000, not 25,000. How about 10? Somebody said send me the link. Okay, I'll do that.
We do actually. So, but Joe, I do want to say that we do have a program that's $10,000, but it's a very hands-on. But we listened to you guys on our last challenge. I know a lot of people really want to get into commercial, and we really believe that that's where it's at. We live basically. So this is really meant to be affordable for everybody.
Yeah, we changed it up, folks. So some of you that were here last time, they wanted to get in, but they couldn't. So we had, we want to help more people. So we tweaked it a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely different when it's one-on-one pretty much every single week. That's why it's an absolute bargain at $5,000. Well, not really. So we're not even going to go there at five. Okay. So, folks, you can join the Commercial Real Estate Launchpad today for only not 25, not 17, not 10, not even five. 3 monthly payments of $12.97, folks. That's it. Three monthly payments of $12.97. And you could go right there, go teachingcommercial.com to that launchpad, or one payment at $3,500. That's it. And that's all group coaching. As we shared earlier, it's definitely different from what we offered if you were here last time. You have direct connect on the other program, which if you are interested in like that, we will talk to you and interview and make sure we are a right fit, because we're not taking everybody for that special other program, because it is definitely more intensive. But this might be the easier barrier of entry for some of you to get in at only $3,500. And if we need to break it up, we could do 3 monthly payments. And I don't know if you have the link there, Susanna, just throw it in the chat maybe. And again, just to recap, the Commercial Real Estate Launchpad, you'll get the course. You're going to get live weekly group coaching calls. You're going to have one kickoff session. You're going to get the commercial loans mastery white paper, commercial real estate investor, investor network, the deal analyzer spreadsheet, due diligence checklist, deal flow vault, expert guest trainings, accountability pods. And is that all you get for joining the commercial real estate launchpad? But wait, there's more. Bonus number one, you're going to get the residential to commercial pivot plan ebook. And that's a special training that I have incorporated how I have helped a lot of people pivot from residential to commercial. And bonus number two, capital raising secrets. Susanna and I combined have raised multi millions of dollars. And we break it down right here and share that with you. And bonus number three, this is a VIP access to any of our commercial real estate events in the year. And you're going to get VIP tickets to invite only virtual or in-person CREIC networking events, meet guest speakers, investors, loan agents, and other realtors to level up your circle. Now, this is another bonus, folks. This is something that I have put together with some really great marketers, online experts, and it's going to be here in San Diego. So if you could hop on a plane, it's going to be a 1 day intensive training and perfect timing, right? 2026 has not started, but it starts now. Your planning, your forecasting for next year starts now. And so this is in person. You'll get to meet me, a few other experts that are in my circle, folks. Some people with very deep pockets, some people in the game, in the trenches, and that's going to be here. You'll get the information when you register. I'll tell you exactly where it is. And again, I'll be speaking live in person, and I hope to shake your hands, give you a high five, and meet you, provided you do sign up. Again, this happens and it'll go away after this week. Those bonuses, this price, this investment will go away this week. So if you really want to get in, this is it. I mean, we don't plan to go any lower than this, folks. It's one of those things that we put a lot of effort into all these different deliverables, and we feel it's truly worth it. And Suzanne, I think you could take it away from here.
Okay, I'm messing with my slides. So what if all you did was one commercial deal? Would you earn at least $80,000? For a small investment of $3,500, you could get 20 times your ROI. So if you guys are committed, make sure you type up I commit to stop playing small. You guys, life is better in commercial. So commit to it. Come with us. We'll give you the FAR method. We'll analyze deals with you. You'll have access to everything that Joe talked about. So let us recap today. If anybody remembers, net operating income, cap rate, cash on cash, debt service coverage ratio, internal rate of return, and please remember, that's my favorite. If you guys, any of you want to impress me, start talking about IRR, and equity multiple. So hopefully everybody was able to follow when we explained that process and why we use those metrics. So now, agents, you can analyze and qualify commercial deals. MLOs, you guys can analyze commercial deals, become advisors, stop playing small, start getting the bigger checks, and either jump in right away as investors, or as you're making your commissions or referral fees in commercial, wherever you guys feel that you want to jump in. I believe that the end of the game, should be for everybody to jump in there as investors, whether it's, on a partnership basis or your own. I mean, that's kind of what motivated me to get into this game, and that's why I'm still in the game today. So you now have an advantage over most realtors because they don't do commercial. You have advantage over the MLOs who don't do commercial because they're either intimidated or they tried. they got judged because they didn't know the lingo, or the investors that, didn't have a roadmap and ended up investing either in properties that were too small, they don't move the needle because they didn't understand the game. So master commercial real estate analysis and reap the benefits. Once you become fluent in the CRE analysis, you can benefit from spotting underperforming assets. I just went through this presentation today on one of our deal analyzers. It is honestly so obvious once you start looking at forced appreciation, looking at the NOI, where is the room to increase it and carry that through to your return on investment. It is an eye-opening experience. It will become second nature. You can be talking numbers with professionals, and we will give you a roadmap of what to do with your knowledge once you've gone through your foundation and once you've analyzed the numbers. So this is a recap of our program. Today's training is done. Hopefully everybody joined the school community, and we can go to Q&A. Any questions?
All right, I could still see people hanging around. So yeah, this is a great time to take advantage of our time. Regardless if you join the program or not, we're here to serve. So yeah, have at it. Any kind of questions you might have, go for it. Commercial real estate, anything about the program, you might have a deal that you're working on right now. We'd love to hear it. And I was missing out. Oh, when does the program start? It starts the moment you commit. And so if you're very, very interested, Susanna, do you have the other link? Maybe we could put it in the chat. So it starts the moment you get committed. So whether you do the full payment or the partial payments, we'll get you right in and we'll give you access to everything that we talked about. And then the group coaching has already started. So it's ongoing, folks. There's a number of people that have been in our training already. We had one training this week. We actually adjusted the time. So the group training will be on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. And so if you're not available, it's okay. We're going to be recording them and they will be in access to the vault. As long as you're a coaching member, you'll get access. It's going to be in the school community, but if you're not part of the coaching or mentorship, you won't have access to it. But if you are, you'll have full access to those recordings. But the group training live is 11 a.m. Pacific. I wanted to try and make it at a certain day and time that we know that more people might be available because we don't know if you're on the East Coast or West Coast, but that seems to be more fitting to capture everybody that might want to be on there live. John, you have a question? Go for it.
Sorry, John, I'll get to you. I want to make sure. So there was questions that we missed while we were presenting. So Stephen is asking, is there a difference in evaluating triple net lease properties versus multifamily? Or is it the same process? So one of the kind of our method of like putting down the foundation is we go through every property type and show you how to analyze each and every one. There are slight differences. In general, you still need to know your net operating income, your DCR, your cap rate, your cash flow, your IRR. So all of the deal parameters that we've gone through hold true for every type of commercial asset, except maybe land, because land, doesn't generate an income. But there are other things you have to consider, which I didn't mention here because they're specific to a property type. So for example, on a triple net, or even like on a retail deal versus multifamily. So retail typically will have common area maintenance charge, right? You typically don't see that in multifamily, although the deal that I'm working on right now is the first deal in 20 years of doing this where I saw that. In retail, you can have different types of leases, right? You can have leases where the landlord is sharing in revenue, for example. So yeah, there are differences for sure. And I'm going to mispronounce his name, Boji. Is that correct? Feel free to correct me. I went to CBRE when I wanted to get into real estate. I wanted to be an analyst for them because it was advertised as an entry-level position. And I was already in accounting, so I did have some experience. And yeah, it was a no-go as well. But that's why the roadmap is so important, guys, because we will, like I said, once you're able to understand what you're talking about, where do you go? Who do you talk to? How do you move the needle, right? And you can absolutely jump into this and kind of make your own way. And tomorrow we'll talk some more about, how we do that. And I mean, nothing's ever easy, but we know where the deals are and we know how to jump in there. And I mean, I went from doing, shitty, crappy $1 million deals to doing 50, 60, $100 million in transactions. So it's doable. Did I miss any other questions, Joe?
For Stephen, MLO is mortgage loan originator. And that's something both of Susanna and I are experienced in. I actually had a mortgage company prior to 2008. I had five residential MLOs. We actually called them loan officers back in the day. And then when the market got crazy, they enforced this thing called the SAFE Act, which you were required to get an NMLS license. When you get into commercial real estate and you want to do commercial lending, you don't necessarily need to get that NMLS license in certain states, and provided you are working maybe with a bank or direct lender. So there's other requirements, but as an individual, it's a lot different. Some people call the commercial real estate arena still the wild, wild west. And this is why you might want to get into it now as the market is kind of shifting. Again, where there's adversity, there's opportunity. And some of you have heard my story. I'm going to say it again if you have not. I am coaching personally right now some very, very seasoned commercial title reps. These folks are having the biggest months, the biggest years of their life right now. I'm witnessing trades of 20 million, 100 million, 300 million going on right now. And these are title reps. If you guys are totally like, I'm losing you, title reps make sure when you sell one property to another buyer investor, they make sure that it's clear of any liens, encumbrances, any other people that are owed money. So they want to make sure when the new buyer, new investor gets it, they're not obligated to pay any of those other encumbrances. And so it's these people are very valuable in the real estate arena, but again, these folks are killing it. One of my coaching clients made over $400,000 in 1 month. 1 month, folks. It's insane. So now is the time, folks. I mean, that's why like I salivate. It's hard for me to sleep sometimes how exciting this market truly is. Any other questions? I hope
Yeah,
hopefully.
Joe, somebody wants to know where they can get the replay of yesterday's recording.
Oh, absolutely. So it's lock and loaded. If I could pull it up right now, I'll put it in the chat. So maybe if you could entertain some of the questions, Susanna, I'll put it right in the chat and it's ready to go and watch. I don't remember. We've got some new teammates now kind of working behind the scenes, and we're working on different operations here. So yeah,
Yeah, go ahead and put it in the
forgive us for
chat.
the
And
delay.
then
So.
and then Big Mike said he just received a $3.5 million financing deal yesterday. Was that on commercial or residential, Big Mike? You might be driving and not responding, but congrats. Um, Mortgage loan officer. Sir, can we get financing on the 3,500 over longer than 3 month payments? You know what, John? I think one of the emails that we're going to send out as a follow-up, you can book a call with us and you can jump on the call and go through that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I think it's on the emails that are scheduled to go out tonight. I'm pretty sure. It's on the below the replay button. There's also a book a call with us. So, and Joe and I's calendar is open. All right. Any other questions? Anything else we can help you guys with?
And just hang tight, folks, because if you haven't seen day one, I'm
Ah,
almost there. I think I could pull it up for you.
oh, it's
And
an
I,
industrial park. All right. Big Mike, not tech savvy. You don't have to be tech savvy to do commercial. That's true.
all right, here we go, folks. I think I have it, and I could get that to you. So it's right there in the chat, folks. So if you missed out on day one, or like I said, repetition is a mother of skill. Watch it over and over and over until we take it down. So we went through some really juicy nuggets. And if you were here the last time, we changed it up. So you might want to watch day one because it was definitely different from last time that we went through our challenge. And if you can see here, this is what it looks like. So day one is release. All you have to do is press that button and you could watch the whole thing, folks. Okay. And then later on today, we're going to go ahead and get day two uploaded because I know some people here missed out on a good portion of earlier in the meeting. We'll get that uploaded here. It takes a little bit of time to process and format and get it uploaded. So probably I would say late tonight, you'd be able to watch if you want to watch it like 10 or 11. I'm sure it'll be uploaded by then. If not, you could watch it tomorrow. And then day three will be the final day three. And again, we are showing the roadmap how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And if you are kind of on the fence, I'd say book a call anyway, guys, because maybe we could help you out with some clarity. We really are here to solve problems and come up with solutions. And yeah, we want to serve folks. And for some of you that aren't in the school community, I would encourage you to do even that because I've seen a lot of people in the Facebook group because when you register, you pretty much get access to the Facebook group. But there's a school community as well. It's in the chat. And make sure you log in because certain times we will release some free stuff in there and certain times it's one of those pay to play. I mean, we firmly believe that when you pay more attention. You take it more and value it a lot more. I mean, think about all the possessions you have, from your car to your suit to your purse. Don't you treat it a lot more seriously when it's more expensive? Of course you do. You were probably taught that by your parents or you just learned it from somebody, so you really value it more. And yeah, there is a big difference from paying to play or just watching YouTube every single time. I'm guilty of that. I've done other programs, and finally we decided to hire experts, even how you got here today. You got here through an ad, you got here maybe through a funnel. I tried to figure that out on myself until I got some brain damage and it said, forget it. I'm going to hire some experts. And boom, lo and behold, it worked a lot quicker. All right. Any other questions, comments? We could start wrapping it up if there's no other questions. Can you send me a link to set up? Oh, yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a link here. I don't know if we had the book, the call. Susanna,
It's
did you
on the
find
replay portal. When you went through the replay portal, right under there is a book a call.
it? Okay, let me see
It's
if
the
I can
same
grab
link.
that. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's the same link that you were going through earlier on the
Actually,
replay portal.
there's a problem with the link right now, Susanna. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my personal link, and this is my actual real availability. Um, They'll probably say something else about my other business. As I shared earlier, I do own a marketing.
Joe, it works. I just tested it. They can book a
Oh,
call right there.
put it in the chat, please, because I
It's the
might have hit the
same
wrong.
link on the replay portal. If you click on the replay portal again.
I'm in it right now, Susanna. So if you could grab.
Okay, so do you not see the book a call? The blue button under the replay?
No, I don't. So if you could,
Okay, I'll just put it in. I'll put it in there again. No problem.
awesome. All right. So anybody else? Any other questions, comments, anything else? No? Going once? Twice? Anybody? Let me see. Let's make sure. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Okay. I had the wrong links for some reason. Um, yeah, that's the one, guys. So if you are on the fence, I'd say book a call anyway. Any other expenses during the program? Depends, Ed. Depends. You know, it's one of these things that there's multiple ways we're going to teach you to find deals. Some of you have the luxury of what we call deeper pockets, where you could hire um, dialers or marketers or people to build funnels, or there's good old-fashioned old school door knocking, picking up the phone. That costs you nothing but time. And both ways work. Both ways work. You know, you either have the luxury, like I said, of deeper pockets than some, or if you don't, I always teach all my coaching clients it's either check equity or sweat equity or both. And so, like, if you have, I do both, just an FYI. You know, I hire experts to do some of my work that I don't want to do or takes me way too long to do. In some cases, I will pick up the phone and just do that work. Some people are afraid to door knock or cold call or dial for dollars or whatever. And yes, John, you're kind of right. Kind of, I want to address that. If you're calling a business that owns a building, they're exempted. Okay, from the do not call list. And so, know your state laws. As I mentioned our disclaimer earlier, that we're not the experts here. You guys are adults. If you have like an attorney or a CPA, or if you're kind of questioning, and especially if you're not from California or Arizona, one of the states that we're familiar with, do seek your experts because yeah, we don't want you to get in trouble. Mailers do cost money, Ed. Just going back to your question there, it will take some work, and just like if you're in residential real estate, it took you some work. But I'll tell you what, the reward versus the amount that you'll put in is definitely worth it. All right, any other questions?
I think, Joe, Ed was kind of asking, and I typically would have this question too. He was, I think, also concerned about the tech stack. So there's no subscription that you guys need to sign up for. There's no, you don't have to subscribe to any software or databases or whatever. Like, obviously, if you want to spend money on marketing yourself, you can, but it's absolutely not necessary. I like started with nothing. I was completely broke. I was drunk every day because I had to drink with all the commercial loan officers at night. You guys can absolutely just jump in there, see what it's like, get the lingo. We'll show you what to do, who to talk to, how to get it done. And one of the reasons why we have that personal kickoff call is you tell us what you want to achieve, and then we can guide you there, right? So I wanted to go straight to the financing because I really believe that without completely understanding it, right, making it my bitch again, I wasn't going to be effective. I really needed to know that. So that was like, that was not negotiable for me. That was my entry point. So there's no tech stack. You can learn it just by hanging out with us. We'll teach you as much as we can. We're going to put you through 100 deals. We're going to show you the analysis. We're going to show you the scripts on how to talk to people, how to add value. That a lot of that is coming tomorrow. And we're committed to helping you get your first commercial deal. We're really committed to that. Obviously, we can't do it for you, but I always say Joe is the nice one in between us, right? I'm kind of the slave driver. I'm like, this is what you want. Okay, I'm going to show you what to do and how to do it, but now it's on you. So let's go. In a way, you guys will see that once you jump into the commercial real estate, it's really about the movers and the shakers. There's a couple of weirdos out there that have no personalities and are kind of quiet, but most people are not afraid to just jump in there and start like kicking up some dust. I always tell my mentees, Just go in there, and once you know how to speak, then start making some noise. And we'll tell you exactly where to make that noise and how to make it. So yeah, if you're serious, we're committed. But if you're not serious, we can't get you there, right? That's why we don't sell a course, because you're gonna read the course and put it away. I bought courses before, and some of them were actually excellent. I really liked them, but I never implemented, right? You need somebody who's gonna kick you and push you and say, this is how you implement. And did you do it? How did you do it? What was the feedback? Let's course correct and let's go.
Yeah, so go ahead and book a call, guys. If you are on the fence, you're 50-50, or you're just kind of curious, you want to just chat to Susanna or myself, I'd say book a call. Just book a call, guys. It costs you nothing to book a call.
This time.
Yeah, Ed, I like that. In case some of you are wondering, yes, I
Oh
am
my gosh,
Filipino.
Ed, you're so right. I'm so sorry. You're so right. You know how many people that are so super successful that get really involved in their community, and it's not just ethnic community. We've got a bunch of Chinese people that just really focus on that community. They're killing it. Or geographic community. You become the go-to person. Like in Phoenix, like I challenge you to talk to anybody involved in multifamily who doesn't know my name. Like you might find a couple, but most people are going to call me before they accept anybody else's contract. And it's such a, you like, it's a very small pond, right? It's not residential real estate where, you take on a deal, but if you're an MLO, you know that they're going to go somewhere else if somebody offers them a 5%, a 5 basis points discount on their rate, or rates move, you already locked it, but now they can lock it with somebody else. Like I know the game. That's not the commercial game. So
All
Ed,
right,
I
perfect.
expect you call me. I know you're going to call me, Ed. We're going to have a discussion about this.
So we start at 5 p.m. again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, use the same link, folks. So save that link and hop on in. And then, yeah, if there's no other questions, we will go ahead and log off. So anybody else?
We'll see you all tomorrow. Don't forget, don't if you don't show up for the roadmap, you're not going to know what to do. So I'll see you all tomorrow.
All right, guys, have a good night.